Hello, guys. I hope you're doing well because I am. So today we're going to be learning about, we're going to be doing a little bit of things with arrays, and we're going to learn a cool way to write an if statement. But that's going to be at the very end. Um, so let's get started. Create a new class, and this is going to be an Eclipse now, and we're going to call it calculator. Since that's what we did for the last to last tutorial. We're gonna kind of build on that now. Okay, so let's get our public static void main, blah blah blah. Okay, and this is going to be a calculator, but it's gonna work slightly different. Instead of you going ahead and asking for the number and then the operator and then the other number, um, because that did make it easy for us to program it, but that's not really how any real calculator would be made. Um, Most calculators would probably ask the user to just enter the expression. So, like, if I wanted to say 5 plus 5, I would just type in 5 plus 5 instead of having to do 5 enter plus enter 5 enter. So that's what our aim is in this program. So first, oh, and you want to make sure you have that keyboard class that we've created over the tutorial series. Okay, so we are going to make a keyboard equals new keyboard. That's all old stuff. You should be pretty comfortable with that by now. Okay, and then we're gonna have one string that's gonna say raw input, and we're going to have another string. Now, this is going to be the array. So the way to do an array, I don't quite remember if I ever taught you this or not, but it's the variable type, and then you put the square brackets, and then the name of the variable, and then we want to do new, and then string again, and then we want the brackets again, and you want to say how many elements you want to have in the array. So we want 2, um, because this is where it's going to hold the numbers that we're going to be using. And an array, if you don't know, is just a list. It's just a list. And so, like, if like raw input is just a string, so say it holds hello, but input is going to be an array that can hold 2 strings. So you can say hello and then the person's name as the second element in that array. And I guess the more you use it, the more comfortable you'll become with it. Um, Now, the next array that we're going to be using is a double array that also has 2 elements. And we have this double array because you cannot just use, even though this is going to get the way our code is going to be, we need to first split up that expression, like the example expression, like 5 plus 5. We're going to split that up into a 5 and another 5. But the thing is, the first step in splitting it up is splitting it up, keeping it as strings. And then the second step is converting the string to a double so that it's easier to use. Plus, it also gives us a little bit more practice with arrays. Um, okay, and then since like in our old calculator thing, we're going to have that while loop, so we're going to need, we're going to need a boolean, and we'll call it done, and we'll set it to false, just like the last calculator we made, and we want to have that loop saying while not done. Remember the exclamation point means not, and it gets the opposite of the boolean that's right after it. Okay, so now we're going to say raw input equals keyboard dot line read line. Sorry, it's a new computer and the keyboard's a little bit different, so can't exactly type as well on it. But I love the new computer. Okay, so Okay. Oops, we don't want a plus sign there. My bad. Okay, keyboard.readline, and we want to say enter expression. I got a little sidetracked over there. Sorry. Um. Okay. So we have that, and then we want. This is going to be our basic if statement now. So if raw input dot contains. Now this is a method in the string class, and because raw input is a string, we can use that method, and we want to see if it has a plus sign in it. And if it does have a plus sign in it, then we want to say input, which is this array over here with the two that can take two string elements. Input will equal raw input dot split. Now what the split method does is that it okay, hold on, let me give you an example. So let's say our string is 5 plus 6, right? And we want to split this string at 6, at the plus sign. So then what that will give is an array. If we split it, it will give an array that has the first element as the string 5, and the second element will be the 6. And that's what this split method actually returns. But what happens is when you have a special character that's not just like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, or any of the alphabet or a numerical value, you have to escape the special character because plus sign counts as a special character. We have to have two of these forward or backslashes. I forget which ones, but the one going from the right top to the bottom right, left top to the bottom right. Sorry. So yeah, you have to have two of those and then put the plus sign. It's not gonna work otherwise. And you're welcome to try it, but I'm telling you, it's not gonna work. Okay. So then we want to convert the input things to a double. And so we have this num array right there, and the way elements in an array work are you they start getting numbered from 0 and go up to however many you want. So when we say 2 here, the indices, as they're called, the index of each element is going to be 0 for the first one and then 1 for the second one, and that would make our two elements. So we want the first element in the num array to equal double dot parse double. Now we know we've done this conversion before, so you should already know this. Input the first element from the input array, right? We want to convert that first number to a double so that we can do arithmetic with it. And we're going to do the same thing again, except this time it's going to be with the second element. So parse double input 1. And there we go. Excuse me. That's that. Got print line, and then we can just say the first number, which is the bracket 0, plus the second number, and that is our answer. Right? So now you know how to access array elements and how to set arrays and stuff like that. Now, if you weren't just putting in something like this that automatically gives out an array, the way to make an array equal to something like input equals, and then you would have to do these curly pointy brackets and do like A and B and then end the curly pointy brackets. I believe that's how you we used in initial. Okay, sorry. So you can't put in a list at this point, but say up here if you just wanted to say like what the two elements were, you would use these curly brackets and just say like Z and then Y or something, and that would make our list. But that's not what we want. And you can only do that when you're first initializing your variable. That was the error it was giving me before. So, okay, so now that we have our plus sign one, it's going to be the same for everything else. So I'm just going to copy and paste that since I already have that all worked out. It's the same thing. You just replace the plus sign with the minus sign everywhere here. Make sure to do it everywhere. And you put the asterisk, that's the multiplication sign, and the division sign. And this part looks a little bit weird because you have those two, and then you have the regular slash, but that's just the way it has to be. Okay, so once we have that, then we have our, because this is in a loop, we would want to see if the user wants to continue. So we want keyboard.readLine. Continue, and we want a yes or a no, or a y or an n rather. Right? Oh, forgot the y in keyboard. Okay. And okay, so now we're going to be doing that cool if statement that I talked about. So in regular if statement world, what we would do is we would say if cont dot equals n, then set done equal to true. Now, in this cool new if statement world that we're in, we can make all of this. So let's just comment this part out so that it doesn't do anything. I forget if I've taught you guys to comment or not, but when you're doing multi-line comments like this, the way to just comment it all out is put a slash and then an asterisk at the beginning, and a slash and an asterisk and a slash at the end. And that comments it all out. And comments exist to just be something that the programmer can look at, but no one else really needs, but the program doesn't need to go through any of that. So that's what a comment is. But that's not the point of this tutorial. Okay, so we can turn that if statement into this short little one that would say done equals true. Now we want to say it equals true only if cont equals n. So that for that part we put a question mark, and then we would put the cont equals n condition here, and then we also have to put an else. It would stay at false or equal false. So this is the way it works, and this statement right here and this statement right here are the same thing. What this does is done will equal true if this little question mark cont dot equals n, else, which is the colon, it will equal false. And I'm pretty sure you have to have the colon. You can try doing it without. I'm not sure if that works. Okay, and then we'll save it, and it should all work. So let's try to run it. And we're going to say 5 plus, 5, my numlock was off. 5 plus 5, it equals 10. We're going to say no, we don't want to continue. And it ends the program. So that's it for this tutorial. You learned a couple of things. Now, do be warned about this line over here, as this does give that warning, dead code. That means this is a really old and crappy way to do things. If you're going to make a real program, just use a regular if statement. But I just thought, this is a cool little thing, and it might come up somewhere, and it's a good thing to just know. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys subscribing and stuff. And I always love your comments. Thanks for watching.